I am actually someone who's always been in the sales industry, and like customer service. So like talking to people and like being super friendly and just making sure everyone is okay is something that I've already kind of incorporated for many years in my life. And honestly, it comes very naturally for me. So doing a YouTube was sort of secondhand easy in a sense, whereas I was just like right in front of the camera and I was just talking, and anybody who knows me knows I can yap a lot. So it comes in handy, essentially. So yeah, that's a little bit about myself. And my YouTube is, I can honestly say at this time, there is no actual like, oh, I only focus on beauty or I only focus on fashion. Right now, I'm just having fun. That's just my character, essentially. So that's why you'll see a lot of my videos are very bubbly, very exciting. If I do touch on serious topics, I don't do it in a form where I want it to come off in a sense where that's where we're heading in a negative direction. I just want it to be positive no matter what the conversation is, because that's just what's going to make the world go round. We just have to be positive continually. So yeah, that's a bit about me and my YouTube.
Oh, no, that's good. That's good. I kind of am focusing on this whole message of being yourself. And during the quarantine, there are a lot of people who feel lonely, even if they have kids and they're married, this whole new digital world that we're in right now. So to be able to get on a channel like this or your channel and be able to actually see you in action, be yourself, be your true womanhood and show who you are, what you're going through, and put a smile on people's face. And trust me, I'm working with a health consultant, and she's telling me that she's having conversations with mothers and women who are having high anxiety because of the change of the world. So it's great that you're doing that.
Oh, thank you. And I just hope I can continue to, put that smile on people's face, because there are a lot of people in my surrounding where when I'm down, they uplift me. So just to continually do this and pass it forward is just what we should be doing, essentially, and what I want to continue to keep doing.
Right. So I know you're from Toronto. How often do you go?
Before, when I was younger and spending money, I was going every year, or every 2 years to say, but now it's been I would say 2 to 3 years since I've been, but I do hope to get back into my travels and keep it going. But of course we have to ensure safety during this time. So definitely a hold off until we know it's good to go again.
Absolutely. So do you have any interesting projects coming up with your YouTube channel? Any new topics? Is there any dates that you kind of want to put out there for everybody to know?
Yes, actually. I just filmed 3 videos today, which is correction. 2 today, 1 yesterday, editing all 3 today. So 3 of them kind of coincide with one another. Well, 2, not 3, sorry. 2 coincide with one another. The other is fashion related. So please keep tomorrow. I will be posting at 12 p.m. which is our time, right? Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Bear with me. Tomorrow, it's going to be a lady who's locally based. She has started a Yanni steam herbal business. So you'll see a lot of people are really getting into the feminine hygiene, all natural, organic, and of course it's been going on for decades, years, but there wasn't much light being shined on it. So I'm really happy to see so many women, and like you said, staying in tune with my womanhood. That is something so important to me, because I feel too often, and again, serious topic, but keeping it light and positive, for too long, women's beauty, importance, bodies have gone undermined, undervalued, not noticed, just not enough, So I'm happy that these women have said, you know what, we're getting into this, we're doing this. So a lady by the name of Lauren, I actually went and did the herbal steaming with her. My mom used to do it years ago. She told me about it, and I was just what? You're steaming your hoo-ha? What? Who does that? But you get older, you get more in tune with yourself, and you're okay, this makes sense. So to be able to pass that on, she started a herbal business where you can go get steamed, and then, you can go back. She has soothing, cooling, and another one. I did the cooling, which felt amazing, especially on a 30-degree day. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lauren. And then also another video I will be editing is I'm actually a brand ambassador. You'll see I've been posting a lot about that today for Vagikini Magic, another beautiful lady, also locally based, also geared toward the feminine products, where she sells the wash, the herbs, a tub if you ever, well, not a tub, but it's a chair essentially where you can actually do your steaming at home if you choose. And everybody's different. Some like to just go and do the pampering themselves or be pampered. The great thing is you have the options, right? So that's what I really love. And then the third video I will be doing will be with Classic Coutique. You might have been seeing me using her fan. Honestly, is so hot and so amazing that she has this. But yeah, she's also locally based, and she focuses more on fashion. She has her store, and you can honestly contact her on either one of these here. And that's also another thing about me. I love to push people out there. Like, I just want to make sure we all know the things that are out there for us, and that we make sure we use these resources, because many times we wish we had them, and we do now, so it's good to definitely take hold of them. But yeah, those would be my 3 videos I'll be posting tomorrow at 12 p.m. Stay tuned.
Well, that's good to hear. That's really good to hear. I think a lot of people need to take care of themselves during this time. I know for myself, I used to walk an hour a day, and that went out the window. So I need to start taking a little bit more care of myself, take some time out to actually take breaks and things of that nature. So that's good to know. And as far as editing your YouTube videos, how long does that take? I heard like vloggers, they spend more time editing than they do actually creating. Is that true?
So true. I honestly had no idea the editing part would be honestly so infuriating at times. It's like, it's crazy. Like, sometimes, I remember one time I was editing like a 10-minute video, and it took me 6 hours. And I was like, how does this make sense? But the thing is, you have so much footage that you have to go through, and then because you're chopping certain scenes, you're adding music, you're adding subtitles, you're doing so much, it's like, as time goes by, you have to, like, it just accumulates time, and then if you mess up, you have to do it all over again, and yeah, it's fun. It's exciting, but no, definitely editing takes way longer than the actual video itself, and sometimes when you try to be subconscious, like, okay, don't do too much footage so that way you have less to edit, you then have to delete so many videos and redo it. Delete it and redo it. And it's a grand old time, I tell you.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, I do that with my TikTok videos. I wake up 6 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, and I film for like 2 or 3 hours. And it keeps me good until about like the following Saturday.
Yeah.
But I have like a bunch of kids following me, like Gen Z, so I'm like, okay, that one has swearing in it, can't use that one. That one is just a little too mature, can't use that one. So it's just like the editing process and deleting something that you actually spent time to. Sometimes it's a bit frustrating, but yeah.
But the results is probably the rewarding part, because you're like, you know what, I went through all of this, but finally my masterpiece is complete. So it's like, it's totally okay. And then with reactions and people love it and they're enjoying what they're seeing, it's like, and even if they don't, I always try to tell people, like, do things for yourself, but making sure that you make other people happy at the same time, kind of thing.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's good to be passionate because people are pretty perceptive. I think even more now than before, because a lot of people are spending more time indoors. They're actually doing a lot of inward introspection and this soul-searching thing that people are kind of forced to do. And so when somebody comes up in front of a camera or even a photo, they can tell if it's forced. They can tell if the smile is just hiding the truth. And that's why I keep telling people, just, if quarantine has been hard for you, tell people that, because it's like, that's your honey, and then your audience is like the bee, and they'll come to you, and if people don't like it and they unfollow, hey, that's okay. There are about, 900 million people on Instagram, so just be yourself, and that's really important.
It's so true, because realistically, we all need somebody. Like they say, the medicine for humans are other humans. Like realistically, that's why when we're going through situations, we look to others to see if we can, get that type of comfort, compassion, understanding. So if you can touch somebody without actually touching them and you're just like really impacting them on a positive note, that's amazing. And again, like you just said, there's so many people, like the people who don't follow you or don't appreciate your message, obviously there's no connection there, so it's best you just let them go. And the people who receive your message, it's best to just embrace them and just keep it going.
Absolutely. So YouTube is booming. I mean, I've been following some people, like last year they were at 20,000 and now they're at 100,000. Like, what are your goals as far as followers, or do you want to get brand deals? Like, where do you see yourself in the next few years with this project that you're working on?
Again, YouTube essentially isn't really my only project.
Okay.
More of like something, it's like my hobby project, because I actually am really more focused on the financial industry. And it's funny because people would never assume this. When I say this, people are like, what? But yeah, no, I'm actually studying to do life insurance. So that is what I'm more geared towards, is financial literacy, ensuring people know how to use their money, how to make their money work for them, which is the most important thing. Too often we just have a horrible relationship with our money, and what we need to do is just start having better conversations with ourselves and just have better money management and go from there. But yeah, that's actually what I'm more focused on, and I'm actually hoping that, like I was saying earlier, a lot of my YouTube videos are very positive, very happy, and I want to keep that focus there. But as time goes by and once I'm fully licensed and everything within Alberta, I will actually be doing a lot of money management tip on my YouTube, because I just feel it's so important. Because yeah, like you're saying, people's YouTube are blowing up and people are having so much success even in quarantine right now, and even before, and I'm sure even after, there's going to be so much success. But too many times we hear stories of people having success and losing it because they don't know how to actually maintain it. And that's something I want to make sure that no matter who you are, you have the right tools and you know what to do with it when you have it.
Oh, that's great. I'm sure a lot of people will be able to watch your videos. I'm sure you're going to change a lot of people's lives for the best.
I hope so.
Yeah. And how is quarantine for you? I ask this question to everybody that's on the show, and you can share what you want, and you don't have to share everything. But how was like the first couple of weeks of quarantine, and how are you doing now?
Quarantine has been, how do you say brutal, but not like brutal? Like, is there a way to say that? I'll be honest, it was weird. It's still weird, because when quarantine or like the whole conversation was happening, I literally had just got back from a trip, and I was like, I had all these plans, like me and my best friend, like every 6 months, every like 3 months, 12 months, depending, we tend to like check in with each other and be like, hey, so like, what are your goals? What have you accomplished? What do we want to accomplish? And like, while I was on my trip, we had that conversation, and like, I was ready. I was pumped. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and all these great things. And then I come back and it was just like, the world was just shifting, and I was like, what's happening? What happened? I have goals I need to achieve. So like, it was hard in the first part, so I was like, it was scary. Like, let's be honest, like I was like probably showering 10 times a day, which I'm pretty sure is not hard, because then you start to get rid of germs that you need, and like, but still, it was like, like, I don't know what's to come. I just want to be more precautious than anything else. And then my dreams went out the window. Like, I'd even think about reading, and I literally had bought like 10 books, like, or all this like craziness happening was like being delivered. And then even, it's kind of funny because during the quarantine, I bought another couple books, but I still haven't read them. Jeez. But yeah, it was rough. But then time went by. And again, like I spoke about the people that I have in my corner, a lot of people were saying, listen, yes, times are uncertain. Yes, times are hard. But that's essentially how life is always going to be, how it's always been. This isn't our first crisis. This isn't our first scare of anything in life. So what we have to do is just treat it as if, not to say it's not there, but we're not going to let it hinder our thoughts. We're not going to go into like the sunken place of distress and despair. It's just like if you were living in the woods, for example, like, yeah, this is your home, but you're going to use it to your advantage. And a lot of people see that as a bad thing, but like I'd probably live in the woods more than I would live in the city, only because there's just so much more benefit to it. And that's a whole other conversation for a whole other day. But I started to just look at it like, okay, there's a pandemic. People are like freaking out. I'm freaking out. Like, I probably should let people know that they aren't the only ones freaking out, and I probably need some help right now. So somebody help me. So like that's kind of how the whole YouTube and everything, and like friends and reading, and I just try to know that it's there, but don't stop my work, my progress, and my process in the midst of it all, because we never know what's to come. Like, what if, you know, tomorrow everything is okay, and then it's like, okay, darn, I didn't do anything. Now it's like, oh, now I'm panicked and I have to like do it all now, versus, okay, everything's okay. I did a few things here and there. Now it's just go mode. And it's like, let me just get the wheels going. So that's probably the best thing I can say. I don't have it figured out at all, by the way. I'm still freaking out, partly because I can't fly. I can't do anything really. It's just like tiptoeing here and there. But for the most part, I could say I'm dealing, if that's a good way to put it. I'm dealing.
Yeah, it's been difficult for me because I have a lot of family in Toronto too, and then I called my dad and I'm like, I want to come see you, and he's like, no, there's more cases here than there. Just stay yourself at home. So it's been hard for me because my immediate family, they're not here. I do have like cousins and stuff like that in the city, but it's hard. So.
And yeah, that is rough, because speaking of like dads, like my dad is the one who I visit when I go to Barbados, and we had so many days planned. I was supposed to go for my birthday in September, his birthday in December, and it was like, no. And he like flies to the States a lot too, and he was like, oh, I'm probably going to go to New York. And I was like, don't you dare. I was like, what do you think you're doing? And he's like, what? I was like, no. And then he like canceled his trip, and I was like, what were you thinking? Like, New York, I'm sorry, I was just saying, like, New York of all places, this is where you wanted to go, like, no. So I totally get it. I can understand that fully.
Oh, it's funny that you say that. I go to Barbados as well. My mom's from Barbados. My dad is East African. I went last summer for crop over. I saw Rihanna. I didn't see her in person, but she was on the truck with her brother, and she was just gorgeous, like glowing and beaming with positivity. Were you there? Did you go?
Oh, I'm so jealous.
Oh, yeah, I didn't share it on Instagram. I was like, this is like that one moment in time where I don't want to share this with the world. I'll just keep this on my cell phone because Riri is like, she's a queen, so.
Gold.
Yeah.
No, I get that. Sometimes, like, you go places and you're like, this is, like, not camera worthy. Like, my eyes and my brain needs to just be glued to this moment. So I totally get that. I love this.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want anybody to know? Anything about yourself, anything that you're working on, anything that you want to just share with my audience? Because I find a lot of people watch it after, so you never know who's watching. Anything you want anybody to know? Or
other than, like, my YouTube, you know, stay tuned. A lot of fun things to come, a lot of educational things to come as well. I'm not really doing any social media projects outside of that currently, so I can't say for now, but when I do, I will definitely collaborate with you to do another live interview, and like, no, for sure. But yeah, truly at this moment, I can't say, other than the 3 videos and my YouTube, that's about it.
Well, I want to thank you. You're the one that sent me the challenge accepted thing that came out.
Yeah.
And I'm not a Instagram challenge. I'm a TikTok challenge person because you're kind of forced to on that app, but I don't do that. So when you sent it and I Googled it and I saw Kerry Washington, and I was like, okay, if Kerry Washington got involved, I have to do this. So thank you for sending me updates every so often, because it comes at no surprise, and I appreciate it.
Of course, anytime, and I'll keep them coming.
Well, thank you so much for your time today, LeToya. Definitely let me know when you're ready to come back on the show. I'm going to upload this, everybody, on my Instagram Live in almost like 30 minutes. So that's 8 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Mountain. I'm going to be talking about social media and how to socialize with your followers so that you can grow your account. So thanks again, LeToya. And thank you for everybody. Before you go, does anyone have any questions for LeToya? Any questions at all about video creation, YouTube creation, anything at all? We're here, we're interactive. We'll be here to answer your questions. She talked about editing and things of that nature. She's from Toronto. She's got a Barbadian/Bayesian background. And yeah, anybody have any questions, let us know below. We want to get those answered.
Head over to my Instagram, DM me if you have any questions, comments, anything of the sort, anytime.
Okay. All right. Doesn't look like anyone. Okay, so I'm going to upload this, and I'm going to tag LeToya, so follow her if you're interested, and thanks to everybody for showing up. Have a good night. Bye.